Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at gcnlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to usaprepares.com. We're broadcasting 2 hours today from high atop the Missouri Ozark Mountains. We broadcast Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. through 11. And if you'd like to call us, we'll pay for the call. 866-582-9933, 866-582-9933. Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Welcome, Rick.
Good morning, Vincent. I want to personally thank all your listeners for the support and calls and good wishes I've received this last week. Thank you. It means a tremendous amount to me because I'm up here in the middle of nowhere, and so sometimes you wonder if your voice is being heard, and apparently it is. Thank you for your support.
You know, Rick, I guess you're referring to last week's broadcast, an emotional broadcast.
Well, partly, yeah. Yeah, and all the depression that comes with it. Yeah.
Let me share a few thoughts with you. We have been getting, our instructors know our phone number here at the farm, and I've even given it out many times on the air. It's on the internet.
By the way, I need more volume. Just a witch, please.
Okay, sure. All right. So we get a lot of calls here at the farmhouse, and a number of the calls, the number of calls has been increasing at an increasing rate. And I get calls before the broadcast. I get calls even during the broadcast. I get calls at the farmhouse during the broadcast, because not everybody listens live while we're on the air. They listen, on podcasts or delayed feed and on radio stations and so forth. But the increased concern from those who are listening and in class and those who are instructing, even if they're not instructing that week, they're still extremely concerned about what's happening at an increasing rate. And as I've traveled and met people that I haven't met before in retail, I've noticed that there's more anxiousness, there's more anxiety, there's more concern everywhere we go. And when I stand in a line, a cashier's line, to wait my turn, I may talk to the person behind me, and it's always about, and everybody's concerned. Everybody. There's nobody saying, I'll tell you what, it's wonderful. Everything's just great. No one is saying that. No one. And at the same time, Rick, when you were on the air with me last Thursday, the calls came in fast and furious. Everyone's concerned about Dr. Richard Allen Miller. That's what happened. And I explained in many cases that what happens is those of us who do what we do, we understand a lot of what's going on. Not all of what's going on, but we've got some of the pieces. And it's upsetting. And it's really upsetting. Sometimes it's obvious in my voice. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes I try not to let it be obvious, but it's becoming more and more obvious, Rick, that it's bothering all of us. It's bothering Norm Shealy, you, Miles, Joey, Ed in Florida. There's so many of our instructors. It's bothering Aaron Dakins, all of us.
The problem is I don't really actually want to be right about what I'm seeing. I'm hoping, in foolishly probably, that I'm deluding myself, that I'm actually trying to see things because I believe that they are happening. And I'm hoping that I'm wrong, literally. And I have to tell you, for example, Bank of America. I've been renting where I deposit my check each month into Bank of America. There's 2 branches in Grants Pass alone, and maybe 4 in Medford. And I go every month and deposit my check. I went in this month, and they are no longer Bank of America. They are Bank of the Cascade. And I said, when did this happen? March 6th. My owner of the house that lives in Hawaii had no warning, no clue where's her money. And she spent 2.5 hours. I actually, before I had contacted her, drove to Medford because there are 4 branches there. You look them up online, there they are, and you drive there, and they're no longer there. There is no Bank of America from Eugene all the way down into Redding, California. That's 3 hours in either direction. They're gone, every single one of them, with no warning to any of the people that have accounts in that bank. Absolutely no warning. It just happened. And the bank manager can't help me. How do I put this money in her account? There's no way I can do that. I ended up calling her after she battled with Bank of America. She said for like 2.5 hours before she found her money, and was nearly overdrawn because my check, others, had not gone in a normal fashion. Heads up, this is how it's going to play from now on. And there are going to be major banks that are not so much failing, but without warning will be reorganized. And that's what's happening across America right now because of what's happening with money, interest rates, and the rest of it. And there's going to be no warning. They gave no warning. It happened to me this month.
Rick, I'm looking at a post, CNN Money, and it says that Bank of America employees down 15%, branches down 10%, ATMs down 2%. And then it says, if your Bank of America branch disappeared, you're not alone. The nation's second largest bank has pulled the plug on hundreds of branches and eliminated tens of thousands of jobs over the past 2 years.
And they've never said a word to any of their bank holders, the shareholders, any of it. There's no warning.
It says Bank of
Which
America
I call
is not
plausible deniability.
Bank of America is not the only big bank scaling back, but it's seen among the most aggressive to do so in the United States. The retreat is part of Bank of America's CEO Brian Moynihan's effort to slash costs and capitalize on the shift to mobile banking. It's
that's
also
the
bank's
excuse they're using.
Right.
That doesn't mean that that's true.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. And if you think about it, a bank has no product. There is no drill press that they make anything. They buy the plastic from another company. They buy the magnetic stripes and the chips. They don't make them. They buy that. So banking does not have a product. However, when I was at the highest levels of credit card banking in the office of the president of the banks where I was employed, they would the marketing guy would come in and talk about products. We got a new product, and I'm thinking, product? You mean a product? A product is something you can hold. It's not a concept.
It's something that's real.
Yes, and they referred to these different offerings, these different service offerings as products. They themselves believe that they have products, and they call them
it's
products.
an image of trying to fake out the fact that money is nothing more than a theatrical prop. What's real is labor. And right now, gross national product is essentially zero in America. I remember a time when I was teaching and advocating farming where we wanted to export spices that we were importing so that we became more stable. That's all gone. I remember 20 years ago when I grew feverfew in Northern California, shipped it to China. They processed it into tablets and capsules and sold it back to America as Centrum and Kirkland products. Now, even if the product came from the United States, like raw material, it is still processed in other countries into products that you now use. Everything is imported. And when you look at the Baltic Dry Index and how many ships are literally on the high seas at this moment, it is like food in the local town in a just-in-time delivery. There's less than half of what there was last year. We are in deep trouble, and this is called boiling the frog, where you do not notice the raise in temperature until it's too late. And this election is just part of the whole fake bravado of Republicans and Democrats at war within each side. It's crazy.
Yeah, not only are they at war with the other side, they're at war among themselves. It's an absolute disgrace. But what's nice about it? What's nice about this war?
That's a good word.
What's nice about this disgrace is it's showing we the villagers that neither party is interested in representing our interests. They are only interested in representing their own personal pleasures and gain. If you have a class, here's a homework assignment, and this came from Joey in Michigan. Joey said, I recommended House of Cards as a homework assignment, and it's on Netflix. Well, there's a previous one to that, and it's the BBC, British Broadcasting Company version from 1990. And if you do a search on Netflix, you will find it right now. It's there, and it's a little dated. There's some scenes that I don't really like, but there's some innuendo there. There's some, I don't want to say. But I will say that some of it is so disgusting, you will realize that disgusting part is really the truth. It's not fiction. It's really a documentary on what's happening in government, ours as well as others. And that's a disgrace. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from IronEdison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of IronEdison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our IronEdison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at IronEdison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Are you still looking for that one iodine that you can really trust? A medical doctor endorsed product that is backed by honest research and true integrative science? Then search no further. Go to NutriMedical.com for Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutriodine, proven time and time again to be the very best iodine available for you. Nutriodine is the only Tesla-activated monatomic plasma iodine in the world. It optimizes mitochondrial function and generation of new mitochondria, from totally neutralizing the venom from a desert recluse spider bite in southern Southern California to eliminating malaria parasites reported by medical missionaries in central India. Dr. Bill's Nutriodine is simply the most powerful healing formula there is. Nutriodine clears the body of all known pathogens, restores it to an alkaline state, and even promotes stem cell regeneration. Order Dr. Bill's Nutriodine today at 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com.
Serious investors and traders want to make 81% return in 60 seconds? Use the same secret algorithm professional hedge fund managers use to make billions of dollars of profits. Turn $250 into $4,903 in just 7 clicks of a mouse. Our tool is so simple that my 82-year-old grandmother can use it to make insane stock market profits. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. Watch the free video before the hedge funds make us take it down. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. From the Robert Allen System, current returns not indicative of future results.
It's no secret that pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, molds, and fungus can inflict severe damage in the human body. Fortunately, a new and vastly improved silver solution has been developed. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary broad-spectrum antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal solution that can be used inside the body as well as on the skin. Supernatural Silver is unique and superior to colloidal and ionic silvers, using a patented technology that is highly effective against colds, flus, infections, food poisoning, and yeast, in addition to many other pathogens. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported, extremely safe, and is the #1 choice of thousands of people for immune system support. Find out how Supernatural Silver could change your life. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HEALTHY for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com, and like us on Facebook.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Alan Miller's with us, and DocRam.com, DocRam.com. Rick, in May of 2015, Wells Fargo said that Alibaba, an e-commerce leader in China, was going to be soon bigger than Walmart. That was May of 2015. Well, the newest report yesterday, Alibaba surpasses Walmart as the largest retail company in the world. So when you think about it, you know, what has Walmart become? It's become a Chinese factory outlet, and I've been calling it that for years. What they do is they buy products from China in a large volume, and then they sell them here in the United States. Well, why not have China sell directly to us? And I found that if you go to eBay, you can buy a product from China, same product you could get in the United States. It'll get shipped from China, and you think, boy, that's going to be on a slow boat. No. It gets here faster, and many times, than a product that comes from the East Coast to Missouri. And I have in my hands a Chinese product that I bought. Dr. Shealy recommended that we have a pulse oximeter. And what this does is it's the same thing you see in the hospitals. They just put this on your finger and it has a digital display, and it reads out your pulse and heart rate. And heck, I'm trying to think of the price. It was $12.20. $12.20 shipped directly from China. It works. It does what it's supposed to, and it comes in a nice little protective pouch. $12.20. Now, can you imagine buying a product at any place in the United States that would read your oxygen through your finger and your heart rate for $12.20? Heck, you'd have to pay tax on it. The tax would be about $1, right? In many locations. And this is shipped. So we're losing this. We're losing this commerce battle, commerce war. We're losing it with China. They're eating our lunch, and it's our fault because of our individual. It's the sum of our individual greed. The sum of all of our individual greed is what has done this. And if you look at what the politicians have done, They've done it to us. Hillary Clinton.
You remember it all started with Nike and labor unions and working with children in the Philippines. And it has gone downhill from there. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, and I was once talking to a store manager at Sears, and this was many years ago. And I said to him, yes, this isn't the Sears that I worked at when I was a teenager. I worked in the automotive department. Tires, brakes, exhaust systems, tune-ups, that kind of thing. And I said, this isn't the same company because it was satisfaction guaranteed your money back. And he told me in no uncertain terms, no, we do not work for the customer. We work for the shareholders. Profit maximization is what we do. That is our mantra. And that's what they do. They're not concerned about customers. They're concerned about the shareholders. But the shareholders don't realize that if they don't have customers, they'll have no stock price. There's no reason to go to Sears if they don't have good service and good products. No reason whatsoever. I was in a line at the Chinese tool outlet a couple days ago in Springfield, Missouri, and I was talking with this lady, and people were buying tools, and some of them are at Harbor Freight. Some of them are good quality. They really are. I needed some tire changing spoons to change tires here at the farm, and they were $6. $6 for these chrome-plated, really well-made tools. They're 18 inches long or so. And we were talking about Sears, and there's no reason to go to Sears. And she said, yeah, there's no reason to go to Sears. No reason to go to Sears. Why would you go to Sears anymore? Sears has lost its way. Sears, Rick, do you remember those catalogs from the 1900s? Sears, you could buy a house. You could buy wood stoves. You could buy heating systems. You could buy everything you could possibly want to buy from the Sears catalog, including a house kit.
It started in Seattle. I grew up with Sears. It was on 4th and Spokane Street. There we were. And Sears and Roebuck has changed. Everything has changed. Everything.
Rick, when we come back, let's talk about cell phones and the additive effect of, one person's cell phone on a bus, 2, 5, 30 cell phones on a bus, a tube with some windows. Is that like a microwave oven? We'll be right back.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Hi, this is Dr. Joel Wallach, the Mineral Doctor. You've heard me talk about 90 for Life for years. 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, 2 fatty acids. You may not know this, that I've actually designed Arthrodex for animals. That's right. Your pets need 90 for Life too. Get this essential pet product by calling 877-279-9422. That's 877-279-9422. Again, 877-279-9422.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Longevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Remember Pearl Harbor. Now you can buy, for the first time ever, the 75th anniversary Pearl Harbor legal tender solid gold coin from the U.S. Money Reserve. Call 1-800-329-6700 right now or go online to usmoneyreserve.com. 1-800-329-6700.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
That's Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us, and if you'd like to go to his Facebook page, you can go to docram.com, DOCRAM.com. Kyle in Montana. Kyle Harris, welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen. I just had a couple of stories for you, Vince, that dealing with these big banks. My son, one of my sons, a long time ago, used to work for a servicing company that handled the accounts for Bank of America, and he was talking to a lady who had been transferred 7 times till she finally ended up with him. And these are all people that were in the same area, the work area, as my son. And so he's helping her. She's trying to transfer around over $1.5 million. And nobody would help her because they were pushed for their call time rating. My son had the highest customer satisfaction rating, but the lowest level of call time that because they wanted you to get rid of these people, transfer them or something, in like 1.5 minutes. You had to be able to go in there, take care of their problem or whatever it was. And so he's helping this lady because she's having extreme trouble trying to get anybody to help her. And so he's helping her, and all of a sudden the boss walks up and sees his call time and is tapping on the screen And so he has to hang up with her for just a second and explain that it's the 7th time she had been transferred and that she was getting very frustrated. It's just these big corporations are just, like you just said earlier, it's all about shareholder and you know, how that, I don't understand why in the world you wouldn't want customer satisfaction at the highest level possible, you know, because without them, you don't have a bank.
Kyle, I
had another one. I had another one where my daughter, she had money in a savings account and she had money in a checking account with Wells Fargo. And she had transferred that month. She had had some bigger bills come up. And she had transferred money from her savings to her checking account about 4 times. And she couldn't figure out how come her account was lower. And so she called him and said, well, you transferred too much money between your savings account and your checking account, and we charged you $75. I couldn't believe it.
I can address both of those. I receive every year a fee schedule from one of the banks that we deal with, and it's got telephone transfer. So if you make a telephone transfer, call them up, and I'd say I'd like to transfer this amount of funds from account A to account B. They'll do it if they know who you are and you can prove who you are. Well, they know us by our voice, and they can, you know, I don't get all those questions about, you know, last 4 of your social security number and your grandmother's maiden name, that kind of stuff. Whenever I get these sheets that have the fee schedule, I call them up immediately and I say, I just got this. I'm a little confused. This doesn't apply to me, does it? And they go, no, it doesn't apply to you. Now, and what I'm telling him is I am not going to pay $29.50 for a letter of credit. I'm not going to pay $4.50 for a telephone transfer. I'm not going to pay all these other fees. I'm not going to pay them. And I tell them that, oh, good, because that way I don't have to close my accounts.
Yep.
So they know that every year they get that same call from me, and I'm confused. But I tell them I will not. I tell them that I'm allergic to these nuisance fees. I have an allergy. I break out in hives just thinking about it. So I don't want to have that allergic reaction. And seriously, I am not exaggerating. This is what I do. This is how. Well, Rick can tell you. He's seen me in action. He knows I'm like this. This is what I do. And they've never seen this kind of behavior from an adult. So they put up with me, and they do not want to lose our business. So they tell us that, and they waive all kinds of fees. Like if I am, let's say I spend more than I have in one particular account, but I have it in another account, and I call them up and I go, geez, I just got this over limit fee. Can you do something about that? And they go, oh yeah, sure. We'll just eliminate it. Thank you. Thanks for calling us and letting us know. Yeah, we'll just transfer the money from one account to another. But you're absolutely right. And I got off the phone with CenturyTel for maybe the third time in a few short days because they can't seem to get our bill right. They keep increasing our bill, our telephone bill. They increase it. It started out at $19.95 and it hit $89.95. And I challenged them on it, and I got it reduced, but they can't seem to get it right. And it's because of exactly what you said. The guy was on the phone with me 20-something minutes, minimum. And he probably got beat up for being on the phone with me trying to solve this problem. But I wasn't going to go away. I wasn't going to go away until he solved it. And he did solve it, we thought, and he didn't solve it. And I found out yesterday he didn't solve it, so I called him back. Now we think we got it solved. So here's what you do. You call and you say, and you're very polite, and you say, hey, can you explain it to me? Why is this happening? Why is my bill going up and up? And what can you do about it? So now I get not one, but not two, but 3 different loyalty discounts. So we got our $89 phone bill down to in the $40-something neighborhood. About half. It's about half.
You know, my sons have learned a lot of this stuff too, and my son bought a truck and he had a XM Sirius radio on it, and so he goes on they call him, they give him 4 to 30 days or 45 days free, something like that, and they called him up because they put his number, he put his phone number on there and said, do you want to continue this? You're going to get, it's going to be $64 a year for this service. My son says, I'm not paying that. He says, I'll just listen to regular radio. And so then they says to him, said, well, what would you pay $45 for it? And he said, no, that's crazy. He says, I'm not going to pay $45 for radio when I can listen to it for free. And then the guy says, well, let me go check with my manager. And so he goes, and he's gone for about 30 seconds, and he comes back and says, okay, the best deal we've got is $30 a year. And my son said, I'll pay $30 a year for it. But that's about it, because he likes the different radio stations that he can get. But people just don't know how to haggle anymore, or they don't know how to stand up for themselves and realize that if they take the first offering of what these companies offer, you're getting ripped off. They can usually sell it to you for half or less of what they're selling, and
yeah, this is asymptomatic of something much more fundamental, having to do with the way things used to be sold as best buy and cheapest. And today, there is no longer Best Buy like Snap-on and Craftsman. It's all manufactured by 3 to 5 primary raw material suppliers, and the rest of it has branding and a bunch of hooey on where it was made for labor. And that's the way it's playing today. There's no such thing as Best Buy anymore. There is no gross national product. There's nothing in terms of pride of production and making something better, cheaper.
Because
I totally agree.
Kyle and Rick, when we were doing, we're making a lot of phone calls, I got a Vonage account. And so I called them up, and I wanted to get one. I called them up and I said, so how does this work? And they said, well, here's how it works. I said, okay, great. So I can have voice over Internet Protocol. Wonderful. How much is it? Well, it's, there's a charge for the equipment, and, let's say it's $20. And then there's a charge, a monthly fee of $59, $59.95 maybe. And I said, wow, okay, never mind. I'm not going to do it. And they said, hold on, let me check. $49. No, I don't think I'm going to do it. I'll tell you what, we'll do $49, and we'll waive the equipment charge. So how's this work again? And they explained it to me, and I said, no, I don't think I'll do it. $39, $29, $19. Went all the way down to $9.90-something cents. Free equipment, free installation. I said, I'll tell you what, we'll try it. And I tried it for a little while, and then and I called them up, and I said, you know what? I appreciate it. Thanks anyway. We don't need it anymore, because I don't. Bottom line is, it's annoying that they are willing to try to cheat you out of as much as you are willing to pay.
Yeah,
they're willing to do that.
That's exactly right. And Ben, speaking in a survival sense, we really need all of us out there, and everything. People need to learn that what they package as need, or how they package something as a necessity, really ain't. And people could cut their expenditures per month dramatically if they would just think in terms of, what do I really need? I think this is one of the things people talk about, I don't have the money to do this, or I don't have the money to do that, and yet they will go out and spend, $30 on a meal twice a week out to eat, or they've got a $200 a month cell phone bill, and all of these different things. You just kind of touched on it, and it's kind of a raw nerve with me that people don't understand anymore what need is.
I appreciate what you're saying. That is dead on. We are mind-controlled from the get, including, unfortunately, things like religion. I am doing a project here in Grants Pass where I am visiting every single church that I possibly can to see what the differences are. And let me tell you what I am seeing in the various churches. It's really eye-opening. And I don't know what it all means, but it relates to consumerism and what you expect on a Sunday morning.
Yep, I couldn't agree with you more, Rick. We can touch this after the break.
Yeah, and there's a church called the James River Assembly of God, just a little south of Springfield. 3,500 seats. Praise the Lord, 3,500 seats. Multiple screens so you can see what's happening, from the back row. Who'd want to dust all those seats? Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now, with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
By now, you know the smart way to buy emergency food storage is calories per dollar. Ready Supply Foods sells you 50% more food for your money. GMO-free, 25-year shelf life, great tasting, and free shipping. You need 2,000 calories per day under ideal conditions. Most 30-day kits don't have enough calories to sustain you for more than a week. They just don't have enough nutrition to do the job. See the comparisons for yourself at ReadySupplyFoods.com. We are the new leader in value and quality. Go to ReadySupplyFoods.com today.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Sling bow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of sling bow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare? Having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
We use mobile devices right against our bodies every day, but growing scientific evidence has emerged showing serious health risks associated with exposure to EMF radiation emitted from these devices. The solution is Defender Shield, the most effective mobile radiation shielding ever developed. Defender Shield blocks virtually 100% of EMF radiation from cell phones, tablets, and laptops, and starts at just $64.99. Buy now at DefenderShield.com. For 10% off, use promo code GCN. DefenderShield.com, the worldwide leader in mobile radiation shielding.
Class Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us. Kyle's joined us. Kyle Harris from Montana. And I'd like to just share this one thing before Kyle talks more about needs versus wants. When I talk to someone on the telephone who is in the customer service field, someone who I'm asking for help with an account or something that they've done wrong, and I need their help in fixing it, what I found out is very few of the people whom I speak with have experience. I talked with a gal yesterday, and she had 2 years of experience, and she was able to fix my problem in minutes. But the guys who don't have that experience have no clue what to do, and they cause more problems, and they compound the problems for us as customers. Kyle, needs versus wants?
Yeah, Vince, it's a matter of living sort of people. I think we've moved so far away from what, like your grandparents and my grandparents, how they lived, to where we are now, that to have a reference point is almost impossible for the modern American. I'm not sure about Europe and the rest of the other countries, but I think in this country, we don't have a clue what it means to live simply and take care of things in a need versus want mindset. It's just truly,
I'm really impressed with your observation. Those are really important points. You should stress them again. Need and want.
Yeah, it's just a raw nerve with me because, people think, even in terms of transportation, think about that. People think, well, I've got to get a new car this year. Why? Okay, well, my car's got 170,000 miles on it or something, They're thinking along those lines. And when in reality, if your car were to go, the whole transmission went out and it was $3,000 for you to replace that, that's less than probably 6 months of payments on a new car.
Yeah.
It's just those kind of things. It's just to me. We've just been so brainwashed and so
and consumerism. The idea that it's planned obsolescence. My 280Z now has a record 312,000 miles on that engine, and it runs perfectly.
It's funny, Rick, when I was in auto mechanic school, one of the cars we studied intently was the 280Z. And they're quite a little marvel of engineering. They're quite,
yeah. It's the old school. The idea that it was made with metal, not plastic.
Yeah,
and well
designed. The engines were state of the art back then. It was, and they were built very well.
Yeah, and I have 312,000 miles on my engine, and my pipes are within a quarter pound in balance for compression pressure. Within a quarter of a pound each. Wow. Never needed rings, never needed this, never needed any of that. I'm now running red line oil in it, high-end oil, $12 a quart, just to keep her happy. And I never have to change the oil ever again.
It's interesting that you're saying this. What you're talking about is quality versus that. That
right.
Instant,
Best Buy. That's the deal. Used to be, we had Best Buy and cheapest. What has happened is that it's all changed, and we have now lost Best Buy, and everything is set with 3 primary raw materials out of China, probably. And then you have 12 to 20 different branders.
Kyle, thank you so much for being with us today. Kyle Harris joining us from Montana. Dr. Richard Allen Miller and I will return right after top of the hour news and commercial announcements. Bob in Michigan's on hold. Bob will be with you right after the top of the hour news and commercial announcements. I'm Vin Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com. How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
75 years ago, America suffered one of the worst moments in American history, the attack on Pearl Harbor. Now you can remember December 7th, 1941, with the purchase of the first ever 75th anniversary Pearl Harbor legal tender solid gold coin from the U.S. Money Reserve. Call 1-800-490-3200 right now for the official 75th anniversary Pearl Harbor legal tender gold coin from the U.S. Money Reserve, the only company authorized to distribute these 100% solid gold coins. Remember Pearl Harbor with this limited official gold release. 1-800-490-3200 or online at usmoneyreserve.com.
Everyone all set? Cocked? Locked? Here we go. Hour number 2 of USAPrepares.com. Bob in Michigan is joining Dr. Richard Allen Miller and me. Welcome, Bob in Michigan.
Hey, Vince. How are we doing there?
Vincent, I need a little bit more volume. I can barely hear any of it.
Okay. How's
Thank
that?
you.
Bob, please speak up a little bit, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Oh,
yeah. Hey,
thanks, I needed that.
Yeah. Hey, isn't one of your mottos "no more whining"?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
as a matter
hearing
of
a
fact,
lot
I
of
was-
whining from you guys.
Well, all right. And have we provided solutions?
Well, you're trying, and that's
Okay,
what
tell
I
me how we're
Okay.
whining.
I'm very trying.
Well, I think there's a lot more opportunity and business out there than you're trying to make. I know, a lot of people are getting this negative attitude about everything. But when you look around, there is an awful lot still of products being made and sold everywhere. There's probably more products being made and sold than any time in history right now.
More products made and sold. Absolutely, no
Right.
disagreement with that.
It's
It's just,
actually quite correct.
Yeah.
I'm
but they're
getting
not
your
made here.
drift, too.
Well, now
But they're
a
not
lot
made
of
here.
A lot of them can be made here. We can do it. We can do it again. We can bring back Made in USA.
And that's what you're doing with your manufacturing company, right?
That's right. That's what I'm trying to do. And there's a lot of other businesses out there, and there's new ideas. There's new products coming out. I wanted to mention there's this one crowdfunding site called Indiegogo, Indiegogo.com. If you go there and take a look at some of the products that are coming out, it's absolutely incredible. I was on their site here and looking. They have a little mouthpiece that you can hold in your hand. You put it in your mouth and you can dive and breathe underwater with it. Hello?
Yeah, no, I'm
here. We're listening. I just went to Indiegogo.com.
Yeah, there's hundreds of products like that just blow your mind. I was looking at another one.
How many of them are necessary? How many of them are necessary?
Yeah,
versus,
but
you
the
know,
thing on the crowdfunding, you can see the funding that they're getting, so you can see how successful or unsuccessful they're being. And a lot of them are doing, I mean, there's hundreds of items on there, and a lot of them are doing very, very well. In fact, this underwater breathing gadget has actually gotten funding of over $300,000 right now. You know, what is their goal here? Their goal is, their goal was only $50,000. They've raised $314,000 with this device. I mean, this eliminates scuba tanks.
Well, sure.
I thought something amazing. But now, my field of business, of course, is stereo and hi-fi. There's still, as Vincent, you might know, there's still a lot of high-end audio being built here in the country. Some of the major names, like Macintosh and other
acoustic research, linear analyst, platform. I remember the old days.
Yeah, there's hundreds of companies, and there's hundreds of speaker companies too that are still building. There's a company,
but that was based on older technology, on how good a speaker was by how much it weighed because of the wire. And today, the whole concept of designing digital off the analog format has now left us with every single device being essentially the same. Rectilinear doesn't even exist anymore.
Right.
I remember when John Fluke was making single gain amplifiers as J&J Enterprises. I'm that old. And I can tell you that the concept of designing electric circuits has gone to a whole new weirdness. Really, from a physics point of view. I mean,
do you guys remember Dynaco?
Like my phone right now is sending up a high-end static feedback. Why is that? Bandwidth frequencies. And why CenturyLink sucks. Excuse me, I had to put that in. My bandwidth for the last week across the country has been less than 640 kilobyte. I can merely make radio, much less do any kind of Skype. No way. My band, I'm supposed to have 3 megs upload. I have less than 680 kilobyte. And the repairman that came out said, quote, "That's about right." It's about,
That's about right. Wait.
And cutting corners on everything.
Yeah. Vince, you were going to say something.
So, Rick, you're saying that you're getting 1/5 of what you're paying for?
Oh, yeah. That is absolutely correct. There have been media across on Comcast failing in all kinds of states. I had that last week on Facebook. It's happening all around us in terms of delivery compared to what is promised. And it's like having those old phone lines where you had other people on your line, and so depending on how many people were using the line.
Lines.
Yeah, party lines. It's like having party lines.
Oh, my gosh. Those old days. I remember that.
Bob,
it's happening
Bob,
now,
you know what I hear?
It's all different.
Bob, here's what I hear right now. Rick is talking about rectilinear. When he was saying that, I was thinking about James B. Lansing, Altec Lansing, Dynaco. Those were companies that
acoustic
made great.
Acoustic research, AR.
Right,
AR4s.
Yeah.
Dynaco is still around, I think. They've been
it was Tyco. It was Tyco Labs many years ago in the 70s, and I remember going to their factory. Somehow they adopted me as a young person. They liked the fact that I was a young person. I had interest, and they would sell me their kits at half off, as if I were an employee.
Whatever happened to Heathkit?
Yeah, right there.
Well, see, that's okay.
Wait
a minute.
Yeah.
Heathkit is still alive?
No, I'm saying at least a few years ago, I saw Dynaco was still around. I've been kind
Well,
of...
you could, yeah, but I don't think it's not the original company. It's not the original employees. It's someone who's picked up on their designs and remanufacturing or manufacturing circuit boards and parts to replace the Dynaco equipment. That's the way I see
Right,
it.
it's called...
I may be wrong, but I don't think so.
It's called I'm just looking it up. It's called DynakitParts.com.
Yeah. Okay. And the Dynaco, yeah. So what they've done, they have put together the common failure points, the capacitors.
Anyhow, there are a lot of USA...
The driver transistors.
Yeah, there's still a lot of USA companies around in this business. I mean, some of them make...
But if we're whining, Bob, if Rick and I are whining, and if Kyle, Rick and I are whining, and the rest of us are whining, here's what we're saying. We used to... Here's it in a nutshell. We used to have James B. Lansing, Dynaco, Acoustic Research, Phase Linear, all of Macintosh, all of these companies who used U.S. products, U.S. employees, and we made really good quality, durable, long-lasting, repairable equipment.
Right. We can do that again.
Now, yes, we can. Yes, we can. But yes, we don't.
If we think negative,
yes, we should.
We never get done.
Yes, we should.
Okay.
Yes, we can. Yes, we should.
Yeah, I used to.
Right.
Somebody used to say,
shoulda.
That's why it's the word American. It ends in I can.
All right. Well, that's what you're doing, Bob, in Michigan.
It's going to come back to neighborhoods and local rather than this just-in-time delivery from countries I can't even pronounce because they change every day.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, gentlemen and ladies who are paying attention. If you go to Sears and you want to buy one screwdriver, one Craftsman screwdriver, you can buy a whole set from the Chinese factory tool outlet, Harbor Freight, for less money. Or if you have the coupon, you can get the whole set for free.
Yeah, but unfortunately the quality, I'm afraid, and a lot of Chinese stuff is...
Well, the whole thing is bent to replace it like Mopar.
Right, and people are learning that, and so they want...
It's about marketing.
They want to see quality again.
Yeah, there's no such thing anymore as Best Buy, where you can buy something that once and you don't ever need to replace it, like my 280Z.
The problem, one of the problems is, and maybe this is the biggest component of it, we have so much computerization. Tractors today, farm tractors, computerized. Difficult for we, the farmers, to fix them. Cars, computerized. Multiple computers. 3, 4, 5 computers per car. How do we test them? How do we even know where to look? See, we can't fix things ourselves anymore. So they become disposable. Why fix them? Because it costs so much for American labor, right?
True.
Okay. So because of the cost of America, well, if you have a washing machine and you've paid $300 for it, let's say 8 years ago, 10 years ago, and it's $175 to have the guy come out and look at it to tell you what he thinks might be wrong with it, who's going to do that? So you get rid of it and you get another one because it's new and it has a warranty. And we buy things today based on we buy things on features and we buy things on warranty. We don't buy things on durability. You know, when I buy something, I'm really not interested in the warranty so much as I am interested in how well it was made. Why? Because I don't know if the company is going to be around to honor the warranty. Or in the case of Sears, satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. That was then. Now they don't even mean it.
Okay.
Bob, did you have anything else you want to share quickly?
Well, I'm just trying to re-emphasize there's still a lot of stuff made here, and
yes, buy American.
Yeah, right. There you go. Buy American.
Right.
Bob, thanks so much for being with us. Rick and I'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support, necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Remember Pearl Harbor. Now you can buy, for the first time ever, the 75th anniversary Pearl Harbor legal tender solid gold coin from the U.S. Money Reserve. Call 1-800-329-6700 right now or go online to usmoneyreserve.com. 1-800-329-6700.
Dr. Rich Allen Miller's with us. Rick, I'm looking around the studio here, okay? And I see a Technics by Panasonic stereo receiver that I use for some recording purposes. I have a Mackie mixer, model 1402 VLZ3. I have some JBL 2500 speakers, Dell monitors. I have a Linksys switch, 24-port switch, a router, and I also have a Gentner digital hybrid. That's probably the Gentner digital hybrid telephone answering gear is probably the only piece of gear I have in the studio that's made in the United States. And it's not like I went out looking for imported products. It's not that I did that. And everything I have in the studio is used. Every single piece of gear in the studio, including the telephone, is used. So I bought them, and they're all from either China or an Asian country, including the desk Rick, I bought the desk used, and it's probably made in China.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Don't you find that disturbing?
Sure. The three keyboards I have in front of me, the three mice, China. The glasses that I wear, the reading glasses, the frames are made in China. The MP3 players that I sometimes carry around with me, made in China.
Whatever happened to Amana and the Amish and the idea that we did things better? You know, when I was in agriculture, American agriculture was the best buy there was. Per dollar spent, you got more bang for your buck than any other form of agriculture. That's it. Today, it's cargo and business as usual with mostly, I can't believe it. We're importing our own grain.
Yeah, and tomorrow we're going to have an instructor joining us, and we're going to be talking about what happened to the cattle industry and how we've been sold out. He's going to explain how we've been lied to.
It gets better and better when you move into agriculture, really. You know, that's what the war is about. They have usurped all of it, and in Grants Pass right now, China owns literally 1/2 of all physical resources, including our forests. That's what BLM has been doing with Burns, Oregon, giving away our natural resources as part of the national debt.
So, Rick, if you look at young people today, do you ever see them without their cell phones? If you look at these Hollywood actri, they're walking around with their cell phones. They've got them in their hands. Everywhere they go, they've got their cell phones. They're taking pictures of themselves. This is what we've become. We've lost the substance. We've lost the understanding of need versus want. We think that virtual is the same thing as real. It is not. We watch movies. We don't do real things. I was in Sam's Club yesterday, and I was with one of our boys and Mrs. Finelli. And a guy came up to me and he said, "Do you know what we're doing that's new for our members?" And I said, "Oh, man." "Okay." He said, I said, "TV, right?" He said, Yeah. So, do you have television?" I go, No, as a matter of fact, I'm on a national campaign to tell people to turn off their televisions and eat dinner and other meals as a family. Dump the TV. Dump the television. He goes, "You know what? You're right." And he's selling TVs. Well, not TVs. He's selling the satellite, services. And then when I was on the phone with CenturyLink, the gal was really sweet. She said, "I noticed that you don't have television. And, can we talk about that?" And I said, "We can talk about it, but no, I'm on a campaign to dump the TV. To dump the TV because you've got endless commercials. We're programming ourselves with this mindless stuff, and there's nothing worth watching. 300 channels of nothing to watch. Why would anybody pay for that? Why? Tell me why." And she said, "You're right." So there we have, Rick, two people who are in the business of selling people services that they don't even think they should be buying. They agree. They absolutely agree that they should not be watching this mindless television that's programming us to think like homosexuality is okay. Everything's okay. It's just a different lifestyle. It's nuts. Turn it off. Dump your TV. We'll be right back.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's PROPURUSA.com or 800-544-3533.
Something shocking just happened in a Coast Guard unit in San Diego. The old guys in the unit have turned the tables and are now destroying the young bucks in head-to-head fitness tests. How is this even possible? Turns out the old guys in this unit have been part of a special test group for a doctor-formulated fountain of youth drink called Patriot Power Greens. Patriot Power Greens has been so effective for many of the older soldiers that it's made their achy joints, stiff muscles, and lack of energy a thing of the past. Previously, this drink was only available to elite military units. But for a limited time, the creator of Patriot Power Greens has set aside a small number of free sample packs specifically for our conservative friends. But you must act fast. Due to the high demand from members of the Coast Guard, our supply is extremely limited right now. To claim your free samples of Patriot Power Greens, go to greens75.com. That's greens75.com. greens75.com.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
75 years ago, America suffered one of the worst moments in American history, the attack on Pearl Harbor. Now you can remember December 7th, 1941, with the purchase of the first ever 75th anniversary Pearl Harbor legal tender solid gold coin from the U.S. Money Reserve. Call 1-800-490-3200 right now for the official 75th anniversary Pearl Harbor legal tender gold coin from the U.S. Money Reserve, the only company authorized to distribute these 100% solid gold coins. Remember Pearl Harbor with this limited official gold release. 1-800-490-3200 or online at usmoneyreserve.com.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
Hi, Pat Matthews again. I want to talk to you about selling online. And when I say selling, I'm talking about your home, your car, and even buying a house or a new set of wheels. There's a new kid in town, and that's buysellmakeoffer.com. The revolution has already begun, and I invite you to be a part of it. You see, get in on the ground floor because buysellmakeoffer.com never charges item fees. Can you imagine what the other guys might charge you for selling a car on their site, let alone a house? Well, buysellmakeoffer.com doesn't do that. And you can use Skype and YouTube videos to sell your products, big or small. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com and set up your account. For as little as $7.95 per month, you can sell up to 50 items, and they'll give you the first 30 days free just to try it out. Remember, no per item fees. Join the revolution today. buysellmakeoffer.com and tell them Pat Matthews sent you.
Dr. Richard Allen Miller's with us on Thursdays for 2 hours and has been for years. If you'd like to go to his website, docram.com, docram.com. Rick, in Fukushima...
By the way, thank you for that plug. That's the only way I survive right now, so thank you. And for those that don't know it, Workbook 2 is now available, and I got lots more where that came from.
Okay, tell us about Workbook 2, Rick.
Well, Workbook 2 was set up for Hollywood, which was a bust. It's can you live off the grid for 30 days? It was primary basics that every Navy SEAL needed to know about water, food, heat, and the rest of it. And once you get the basics, really where it's all at now is basically instinct, not knowledge base. If you have your inner landscape together, all this rest of it is basic. It's simple, and it's time that we all think about going back to a more simple way of living where we were more sovereign with our neighbor.
You know, I was talking with Joey on multiple occasions and Miles in Europe, off the air. And we're all, and Ed in Florida, Ed at User Site, we're talking about our instinct, and we're using our instincts to guide us more and more. I'm talking about USA Prepares faculty.
Oh yeah, that's
whether we should
absolutely correct. Yes,
and our instinct is proving to be quite accurate. And unfortunately, Bob in Michigan was saying that we're whining. I don't think we're whining without solutions.
That, as humor, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the situation is getting pretty serious. And let me give you just one example. So in Fukushima, we have these wild animals running around. Boar are running around, and they're causing problems for farmers. They're eating whatever they can in the area where the nuclear reactors melted down in Fukushima, Japan. And so they are spreading through their feces, urine and poo. They're spreading the radiation farther and farther outward. It's not a good sign, but it's not just there. It's 3 Mile Island. It's New York.
They're all leaking.
Right? Indian Point.
Indian Point next to New York City, and down in Miami right now with the fish die-off. It's happening all around us. The media is not reporting the thyroid anomalies now existing in the United States. It's time to think iodine. It's time to go back to basics in the way you keep your hygiene in bringing and tracking creepy stuff inside your home. Rethink how you live as a basic survival tool. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Everything that's flowing out of the sky now is leaving a messy film on everything, windshields and everything. And imagine what's in some of that messy chemtrail crap. It's from the stratosphere. The LAX right now have to take aircraft out of public eye when DEQ is all over it, cleaning it for the next group of flights. That's how bad it is. And the engines and the metals are fatiguing. Things are wearing out much quicker. You will see just on the road with tires and crap that are blowing apart because of failure.
I'm so glad you mentioned this, Rick.
And it's going to require new ways of being.
I'm really glad you mentioned this because I've been talking about rust with Joey in Michigan, a USA Prepares instructor, and Miles. And what we're determining is that metal is rusting faster than we've ever seen before.
When you have ionizing radiation, it will absolutely weaken the metal. And worse, there's a series of documents now showing that the military is not promoting this, but it's in fact, they are sustaining body count because of crashed aircraft, especially that coming from Asia back into the United States. That whole region up there is now worse than the Van Allen belt. And it's there.
So Rick, let me just point out a couple examples that we're seeing here, and this will relate to what our class may see as well. So we have a 1999 Dodge truck, and it's starting to rust at an accelerated rate. I have an old 12-year-old Chevrolet truck starting to rust around the wheel wells in the bed box. We have a 1999 Mercedes ML320. It's resting on the door, in the middle of the door, where the bumper is for when you're in a parking lot to protect the door from being banged from the guy opening carelessly his door next to yours. Okay, that's starting to rust from underneath this bumper guard, and we're seeing lots more rust everywhere we look. Everywhere we look, more rust, and as you mentioned, more fatigue in rubber parts, hoses, tires, belts, and so forth.
All of it is part of what's happening because of hygiene. The way we clean and take care of things must now change.
And I'm looking at the cost of replacement parts. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you look for tires for a standard domestic pickup truck like a Chevy four-wheel drive or Ford four-wheel drive or a Chrysler four-wheel drive, you're looking at easily $800 for a set of tires. The cost of labor to do anything on an automobile is out of control. A water pump can cost $1,000 to replace a water pump on a vehicle today, and more. This is absolutely crazy. And these are the kinds of things.
Is now at $15 an hour, almost nationally everywhere now.
But that's not the wage at the auto shop. The auto shop is going to be $100 an hour or more. Or more. Mercedes is like
especially if you speak German.
Yeah, right. Mercedes, BMW, Audi, they're over $100 an hour. And what takes an hour? Nothing that I can think of.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you go to a German imported car dealer, to find out what's wrong with your car because you can't figure it out because it's computerized and only they have the computers that can read these codes, it's going to cost about $200 for them to tell you how much it's going to cost for them to repair.
To own something that was built in the 70s and late 60s is now not about being classic and collector's items. It's about being functional and working better.
Yeah.
In the 80s, everything changed into marketing and to replace parts, so that it was about parts replacement and replacing a TV by just throwing it away instead of fixing the tubes in it or some of the circuit.
Yeah, imagine
it's a
that.
different world now.
We used to bring our televisions, if they were portable, we'd bring them into the TV repair shop. And for $20, $25, we'd have it fixed and we'd carry it back home. And we'd use it until we needed some more repair. As a matter of fact, you could go to a supermarket, a food store, and bring your tubes, open those 8 screws on the back of your television, wiggle out those tubes, bring them in, plug them in, read the chart, test them, and it would tell you which ones are bad, and you could buy the tubes right there and put them in yourself for $3 and $4. Really. You could fix your own TV. And you didn't even need to know how to fix your TV.
You could make your own TV. I remember Heathkit and the modeling where you learned how to fix things because that was the nature of something that was well designed, like a DeLorean.
Rick, let's talk about something that is kind of frightening to me. I don't think we're going to be able to fix the TV problem because now these TVs are made by machines. Machines make the circuit boards. Machines will design the circuit boards. Machines etch the circuit boards, drill the circuit boards, put the parts on the circuit boards, solder the circuit boards in a wave solderer, and then they probably even test the circuit boards. And if something goes wrong, maybe a human looks at it and says, oh, here's what's wrong. But my concern is, and I've been harping on this for years, the cell phones. Now, in a microwave oven, we have a metal box with a window, and that's the window's in the door. Well, if we look at a school bus, and we look at children, and their parents are saying, you've got, in case something goes wrong, Sonny, you've got to have your cell phone so you can call us, or call 911, or call somebody, okay? In case something goes wrong. So you have to have your cell phone. So these children bring their cell phones to school with them. So now we have 45 children on a school bus and they all have cell phones inside a metal box with the window, just like the microwave oven. Rick, are you concerned that these children are cooking themselves while they're on their cell phones?
They're cooking themselves. Just look at all the cell towers that were not there 10 years ago, and imagine what it must look like under lenses where you can actually see that radiation pattern. Any, smart alien wouldn't come down and slum here in force space without some kind of armor, and there is nothing we have yet that will actually shield you from that kind of radiation. There is, in Scientific American, they had once mentioned something about an algorithm in the way they would actually structure copper and or iron in a way that would screen long ultraviolet and other kinds of light. But I have to tell you, I haven't seen that literally. A skin suit that would protect you from the Van Allen belt or this other radiation cloud you have to go through to get into space now. It's serious. It's so serious, there's no normal space travel that's possible. You can't go from Earth to Mars and survive from gamma radiation.
How about to the moon?
That's maybe no children.
So who'd want to
Van Allen belt? Yeah.
So who'd want to sign up for that? Dr. Richard Allen Miller and I will be right back. And let's take this one step further. School bus to the subway, school bus to the airplane, school bus to the car. We'll be right back. Class, I'm a survivalist, and my plan is to be independent of everything that I can so that supply chain disruptions have a minimum impact on our family. What's the first thing that you do when the power goes out? I've researched the best value solar energy system that I can find, one that's backed by the technical support necessary for the undertaking. The system's installed and is generating electricity right now with equipment purchased from ironedison.com. You heard Brandon Williams, CEO of ironedison.com, right here on USA Prepares. Together, we designed our system. In my opinion, our ironedison.com system has more features, more value, and more potential than any other system I've found. We chose the Snyder Electric system with a hybrid inverter, charge controller, power panel, battery disconnect, and the system control panel. If you want energy independence, as we have, please consider calling the engineering team at ironedison.com, 720-432-6433, 720-432-6433.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, poor vision. I wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract. From within a few days, I started sleeping better. My blood pressure normalized. My diabetes normalized. My sleep improved.
Experience these benefits and more when your body heals itself with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Heart and Body Extract comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Serious investors and traders want to make 81% return in 60 seconds? Use the same secret algorithm professional hedge fund managers use to make billions of dollars of profits. Turn $250 into $4,903 in just 7 clicks of a mouse. Our tool is so simple that my 82-year-old grandmother can use it to make insane stock market profits. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. Watch the free video before the hedge funds make us take it down. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. From the Robert Allen System, current returns not indicative of future results.
Something shocking just happened in a Coast Guard unit in San Diego. The old guys in the unit have turned the tables and are now destroying the young bucks in head-to-head fitness tests. How is this even possible? Turns out the old guys in this unit have been part of a special test group for a doctor-formulated fountain of youth drink called Patriot Power Greens. Patriot Power Greens has been so effective for many of the older soldiers that it's made their achy joints, stiff muscles, and lack of energy a thing of the past. Previously, this drink was only available to elite military units. But for a limited time, the creator of Patriot Power Greens has set aside a small number of free sample packs specifically for our conservative friends. But you must act fast. Due to the high demand from members of the Coast Guard, our supply is extremely limited right now. To claim your free samples of Patriot Power Greens, go to greens75.com. That's greens75.com. greens75.com.
For the most amazing, calming, brain-stabilizing, blood sugar, and natural addiction-breaking formula, try CalMind. Anxiety melts, panic is gone, sleep is restful, and you'll stay calm during stress. Better than booze, mind-altering drugs, or anti-anxiety, antidepressant, toxic medications, CalMind lubricates your mind so you'll sail through the day effortlessly. Order Dr. Bill Deagle's Nutridyne at 888-212-8871 or NutriMedical.com and listen to the NutriMedical Report every weekday on the GCN Radio Network. NutriMedical, bringing nutrition and medicine together.
Class, we're talking about electromagnetic radiation, and here's the point. So if your child is on a school bus and 30, 40, 50 other children are on the school bus and they all have cell phones and the driver has a cell phone, your child is being cooked. So let's bring that over to the subway. You know, we're on a subway, another metal tube with some windows in it, mostly metal. Metal on the top, metal on the bottom, metal on the sides, some windows on the sides. Rick, most people on the subway would have cell phones as well, right? And in this metal box, I
need to say something, Vincent. It's really important. Yellowstone public seismography has just been taken offline. Heads up, everybody.
Yellowstone National Park seismography.
University of Utah just took it offline.
What have you been noticing at Yellowstone, Rick?
Well, they always do that pending a potential major earthquake. And so if Yellowstone goes, and it is going to go, it will affect 2/3 of the United States. There will be power outages. There will be dust and debris coming down like Mount St. Helens in Washington. There will be, I don't even want to begin to know, in the Midwest where your municipalities are all failing with water, I think we need to start thinking about getting your own system of water in place now. This is a good day to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in Utah, right now, there's a RADCON 4 alert, Ogden, Utah.
RADCON 4 is real serious.
Yeah.
And when Yellowstone goes, what's going to happen to all those reactors?
Well, the United States is pretty well lit up.
It's going to be real bad.
Okay, so we're in the subway, Rick. Another metal tube with some glass windows, and probably more people would be using their cell phones in the subway than in a school bus. So everybody almost would have a cell phone on the subway, and they're cooking themselves as well. But here's one more point. So when you get in one of these metal tubes, like a bus or an airplane or a subway car, your cell phone automatically says, boy, signal's kind of tough to get. Let me ramp up the power here, right? So the cell phones ramp up to maximum power in many cases. So now we're cooking ourselves even more.
Yeah. I don't even want to, in less than 10 years, they're going to put a warning label on all cell phones just like they did cigarettes.
Yeah, what's taking
They're
so long?
toxic.
You know, Rick, they knew day one that microwaves can cook. They knew it.
Just everybody's in a hurry.
We have, you know, here's the question I have to our class. All those people that you see with cell phones, why don't you ask them how many of those calls that they've made today, yesterday, this week, last month, last year were really, really important? How many of them? And how many of them are, well, I'm at the supermarket now. I just want to let you know I'm here. Okay, thanks. Is there anything you need? No, I think we're good. Okay. I'm leaving the supermarket now. Need anything? No, we're good. Okay, I'm in my car now. Need anything? No, we're good. Just call, say hi. Listen, I'm bored. Just wanted to call you because I'm bored. How often does that stuff happen compared to important communications? I'll bet there's maybe 1% of those communications that are really important. The rest are fluff. And you're killing yourselves for convenience. I'm not doing it, and I don't want to be around it. Rick, your thoughts?
I don't carry a cell phone anymore.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. I put it down.
Rick, if you'd like to peruse the website and buy Rick's books, docram.com, DOCRAM.com. Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Rick, thanks so much.
You bet.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Something shocking just happened in a Coast Guard unit in San Diego. The old guys in the unit have turned the tables and are now destroying the young bucks in head-to-head fitness tests. How is this even possible? Turns out the old guys in this unit have been part of a special test group for a doctor-formulated fountain of youth drink called Patriot Power Greens. Patriot Power Greens has been so effective for many of the older soldiers that it's made their achy joints, stiff muscles, and lack of energy a thing of the past. Previously, this drink was only available to elite military units. But for a limited time, the creator of Patriot Power Greens has set aside a small number of free sample packs specifically for our conservative friends. But you must act fast. Due to the high demand from members of the Coast Guard, our supply is extremely limited right now. To claim your free samples of Patriot Power Greens, go to greens75.com. That's greens75.com. Greens75.com.